I'm here with JB Smoove, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Spider-Man Far From Home, Saturday Night Live back in the day. Thanks for being here.
Hey man, good to be here, man. This is always a great city for comedy. I've been here several times doing other comedy clubs, but tonight is the night. Tonight is JB Smoove live, hour and a half to 2 hour show straight. Non-stop marathon of craziness with your boy JB Smoove here in Portland. And I brought the sunshine today. It could have rained today. It could have rained all week, but no, I brought a bag, an extra bag. I paid for an extra bag because they charge you extra for the third bag.
Oh, yes, they do.
And I brought the sunshine with me. So
all right.
It's a beautiful day, beautiful night tonight for comedy and laughter, man. I can't wait.
Thanks for doing that. Thanks for bringing the sunshine. Obviously, everybody knows you as Leon Black from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and we were excited to find out that there will be a season 10. What can you tell us about that, and when is it going to actually start airing?
I can't give you an exact air date, but I know that it's sometime after the new year. It's going to be absolutely fabulous. And I told Larry, I said, man, it's season 10, man. We should make season 10 amazing. Because 10 is an amazing number. I told Larry we should do a Game of Thrones season, but he shot it down because he thought it was a dumb idea. But it would have been cool to see me and Larry in medieval gear walking around eating big old drumsticks and tearing bread off by hand. But he shot it down, but it's okay. But a great, great season. Larry, of course, the show is improvised. A lot of people don't know that, but the show is improvised. So all we get is an outline, and we just go off the top of our head, and we just create these amazing episodes. And I can't wait, man. It was a rough season because we lost our good Bob, our guy Bob, Bob Einstein, Super Dave, who was an amazing guy, man. I wish everybody had a chance to meet him. He was so amazing, man. Amazing stories. And I was talking to him on set all the time. He was telling me these amazing stories. I said, man, please put all this in a book, man. Please put it in a book, man. You are telling me stuff that's golden right now. And fabulous guy, man. And man, we missed him throughout the season, and he's a great guy, man.
Tell me about your character, Leon Black, because everybody's got a Leon in their life.
Oh, yeah.
That's one reason I live in a one-bedroom condo.
Yeah, man.
My Leon, if I had 2 bedrooms, he'd be in the other. So how did you craft that character?
I think it's the same thing. Everybody knows a guy like Leon, and I wanted to create a character that always grows. You find out every scene we do, that Larry and I do, I always try to give him something new that he didn't know about Leon. So that's what keeps the character going, his mystique going, where he came from. No one knows his origin. I love that he has no origin, so I could just create whatever I want to create, and I give it to Larry, and we're going to run with it. But I mean, the character fits because I like that he always has growth. He always is giving you something new. And I think that's what keeps the character going and keeps Leon going. It keeps the fans wanting to know where he came from, what's next, and is he going to be living in Larry's house? Is he going to be rolling with Larry? Is him and Larry best friends now? I mean, what is it? Is Leon a burden? No one knows because Larry just keeps setting Leon up with these amazing situations where he can be involved in Larry's life, and he's Larry's go-to. Everybody needs a foil. I think now at this point we're the yin and yang right now, and I think we have a wonderful on-screen presence now that allows us to just there's no training wheels off now, so now we just go. The first 2 seasons, we're still figuring it out, but now Leon's a part of Larry's life now, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving the growth of the character. I'm loving that he's still having fun with Larry, and you can't go wrong with a guy like Leon. Leon's the guy that has your back, man. He's a guy you take to fight a ticket. He's a guy you take to break up with your girl. He's a guy, he's all these crazy things, but he's real. He's real. If he doesn't remind you of somebody, he will soon, because that guy, he's worldly, although he's never left the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Yeah.
Great role as Mr. Dell.
Mr. Dell.
And I hear that Marvel money's pretty good.
Hey, man, that Marvel money is no joke, man. This movie made $1 billion, man. And I'm sitting there like over $1 billion worldwide. So this is absolutely amazing to be a part of the Marvel universe, man. And it's always growing. When they first called me, I did an Audi commercial with Tom Holland first a few years ago, and then a few months later they called me about the movie, and I was so happy I did the commercial with them because that led to the movie. But I think we throw things to the universe. I was sitting there watching an Avengers movie, and I said, man, I would love to be in the Marvel Universe, not just a commercial. I would love to be in this Marvel Universe. I'm a big comic book fan. And they called me about that role, and I just went crazy, man. But the first thing I asked them was, what are my powers? That's the first thing.
You thought you were a superhero.
Oh, I thought they were going to give me some powers. I thought I'm a science teacher. Some radioactive insect is going to bite me. I'm going to be something. You know what I mean? That's what you hope for. You hope you got some powers, but the only power I had was the power of knowledge because I was a teacher. So it still worked out. But I'm hoping.
Although you thought everything started with witches, though.
Oh, I did. I did think everything started with witches. Because what do you say when you see all these elementals walking around, taking over the planet? You only think you connected to witches, and that's that's when science takes a left turn. You know what I mean? It's the witches, man. It's got to be witches, man. I mean, what else could it be? And great working with Jake, and I met Samuel Jackson for the first time, which is weird.
An icon.
I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'm surprised that Samuel Jackson and I never met. And we actually met for the first time on the red carpet. So we're sitting there like, hey, man. He said, hey, JB, man. He told me that he was on set working, and he said he was reading the call sheet. He said, wait a minute, JB Smoove's in this movie? And I said, yeah. He said, wait a minute. How come I'm not in the scene with JB Smoove? I would have loved to have been in the scene with Samuel L. Jackson, man. He's one of my favorite, man. And I told him we got to do a movie together one day. I think it would be great. Yeah. I think me and Samuel together would cause havoc.
Absolutely. Well, people know you, of course, from Curve. They know you from the acting roles that you had. But I don't know how many of our audience members have actually seen you in stand-up. So how is JB Smoove on stage different from the JB Smoove that we see on screen?
It's crazy because as my audience grows and as my fans grow, they find out more about me. I've been doing stand-up for 30 years, doing stand-up, and but you know what? It's one of those things where I introduce people to another side of me, which is really my bread and butter. That's where I really come from, is the stand-up world. That's when I first started improvising, and all the things that I do on camera benefited from me doing stand-up. Stand-up allows you to be in a moment with people, which is what TV and film won't do. TV and film, you shoot a movie, you won't see that movie for 8 months. And sometimes you even change as an actor over 8-9 months before that movie comes out. So you'll see the movie and say, I would have chose something different 9 months later. I would have done that scene different because you're changed. You're grown as an actor even after that year passes. So for stand-up, it's that in the moment thing you feel, everything's in real time. And that's what I love about stand-up. And I improvise a lot on stage. I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing it a long time. So when they see a JB Smoove show, every show is very unique in its own way. No, you will never see the exact same show when you come and see JB Smoove. You can come the next night and you won't see the exact same show. Because I work off of what I hear. A lot of people think comedians just talk a lot. We do talk a lot, but we also have to have a keen sense of hearing to listen to what you are laughing at on that particular night. Sometimes it's a night where mannerisms are funny to the audience. Sometimes delivery is funny to the audience. Facial expressions is funny to the audience. So each night it's an adventure for a stand-up, especially a stand-up who improvises a lot and really dedicates his show to the audience, to this particular audience in front of me. It all changes, and that's the same thing when whether you see me on late night shows with KOIN or Jay Leno or Jimmy Fallon or whatever, Jimmy Kimmel. Every time I'm promoting or I'm doing something, I change it up because I want to entertain the audience, but I also want to entertain myself. So I am the true life of the party. I'm the guy that comes in and I want to make sure you have a good time. Make sure when you leave there, I want you to drive home after my show still laughing and still talking about it. I don't want you to wait 9, 10 months or a year to see the movie.
Now, does it change when you're in a city like Portland as opposed to, say, being in New York or Atlanta?
No, it doesn't change at all. I mean, I just think every people love to laugh everywhere you go. And I wanted to create this lollygagging tour to let people be free of mind. And lollygagging is a funny word because it allows you to over-relax. and just put your guard down, no stress. And I wanted to choose a cool word for the tour. I've done several tours. I've run the Bring the Ruckus tour. I've done a Profoundity tour. And this is my lollygagging tour, and it really allows people to think outside the box. But true JB Smoove fans who've been following me for years understand what it is, and it's an animal. It's uniquely different. You know, a lot of people don't know how physical I really am.
Sure.
I do a lot of physicality. I do a lot of characters. You know, somebody told me that they didn't know I did so many original characters in my show. I don't do impressions, but I do scenes, because I also come from the sketch world, also from being on SNL for 3 seasons as a writer, performer, and I even did warm up at SNL for 2 seasons I was there. So for me, it's all part of your growth and your package, and everything I do as a stand-up is my base. But it allowed me to do commercials, it allowed me to do TV, it allowed me to do sketch, it allowed me to do movies, it allowed me to do everything that I want to do, produce, write. It's all part of creating a brand for yourself. And I think I've been blessed to do it for 30 years. I'm very happy. I still feel like, but even though I've been doing it 30 years, I never say I know it all. I always say I love the challenge of growing.
Always learning.
Always learn. You gotta always learn, no matter what you do. You always have the ability to learn, and and that's what keeps me going. Because I'm a comedian who's also a chameleon. I love the growth. I love to change my stripes. I love to keep people on their toes. I like people to never know where I'm coming from, and which is great. And even when I do late night shows, I always tell they'll do a pre-interview. They'll write down 10 questions for me. I'll tell them, I said, don't stick to that. Don't stick to that, because you might not get to one of them. Because you know what I mean? Because you don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, once you sit on that couch and you're hanging out, and the audience is in front of you, and we're talking, it's gotta be free flowing, man. It's gotta go. It's gotta go a certain way. Like we know each other, like we love each other, and we know each other. That's how I should feel. Should never feel robotic. I hate I'm a terrible robot.
Those are the best interviews.
Yeah, I'm a terrible robot, man. I like people to feel like, wow, these guys are having a great time together, that like they know each other. These guys are gonna probably have a drink after this interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I should feel.
We're just talking and
we're just kicking
listening.
it. Yeah, everybody, that's right. That's how I should feel.
Yeah.
Like we having a good old time just talking, man. And it's you dive into each other's journey. It's part of a journey. You know, I always say, you plan your destination, you improvise your journey.
Yeah. One of the things I've always noticed about you, man, is that you are always clean. I mean, I don't mean to touch you or anything, but this is smooth.
Man,
it's
I
smooth
appreciate,
right
man.
Yeah.
You know, I love fashion, man. I've always loved fashion, man. You know, I always go back to my dad. I lost my dad when I was 15 years old, but I never seen him wear a pair of sneakers. He always had shoes on. You know, I guess that was the time and the era back then, you know, where, men just wore shoes, man, and wore their pants up, you know. And I just love fashion, man. Like these bracelets are part of my line coming out.
Oh, so you've got your own gear.
Yeah, man. This is part of my line. And what I wanted to do was a series of bracelets that inspired you to do certain things that day, and reminded you where to be at, where to keep yourself at. You know, like some are called improvise, some are called, courage, some are called integrity. You know, just like words to embody your day, to remind you how you want to be that day. If you got an interview that day, you wanna have spontaneity in your day. You want to be able to tell that boss exactly who you are freely, and not cower. You know, he wants someone who can come on to be a part of a team and control things and be decisive in his movements. And I think I've always been a guy who moves decisively, and and I take the bumps and I smooth them out, and I take each day as it comes, man. Sometimes we have a tendency to be inconsiderate to people and burn bridges we don't know we burned, and we wonder why the phone stopped ringing. And I'm just proud to be able to present something to the world that's another lane, you know. I got boots coming out, these hats, this is one of my hats, even these belts, these cool belts I have, all custom, wallet, chains, and cool stuff like that. And it just wraps you around. Accessories, clothing makes the man, but accessories embrace and shows your character and gives you a sense of identity.
And your shoes got to be right, too.
Your shoes got to be right. You build from the shoes up.
Yeah.
The shoes up, the shoes up. Yeah, the shoes. I got shoes I haven't even worn yet because I can't figure out what to wear with them yet, you know. There's a certain kind of coat I got to wear. And I'm, you know, my wife calls me Coat Man. So at some point, I got to get a line of coats coming out because I must have 60 coats. She calls me Coat Man because I just love a good coat. And I think a coat, a nice scarf, you know, it just wraps your body a certain way.
Well, what size are you, man? Let me get one of them, man.
This right here is a 48 regular, you know, and I just, you know, and I'm vegan. I'm vegan. My wife's been vegan for, she hasn't had meat in probably 27 years, but I was part-time vegan, full-time carnivore for years. But now I'm full-time vegan. I've been full-time vegan for almost, New Year's will be 2 years straight. So, you know, it all works, you know, the clarity and all the things you need to continue your movement. I think we all have to, you know, have some sense of where we are going with the world, and I'm trying to be conscious of that and give back more than I receive, and, you know, and I love doing my Boys and Girls Club charities. You know, that's a big part of me. You know, I'm from Mount Vernon, so, you know, me and Denzel do a lot of work with our chapter there in Mount Vernon. And
that'll be Denzel Washington, if you don't know.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, that Denzel.
That Denzel. Yeah, that Denzel. So we're, you know, one of my big goals is I'm trying to get a brand new facility built in my city of Mount Vernon for the Boys and Girls Club. So that's on my to-do list, and I'm going to do my best to make that happen. Dealing with some companies, some corporations, and try to pull them in. I always say, man, everybody's doing these big old stadiums that are named after these big companies, you know, for, you know, whether it's Mercedes-Benz, whether it's Staples Center and all this, you know. I said, why don't we get these big corporations to invest back into our kids and our youth and their growth. And these are future people that are going to be working at your companies. Why not help facilitate safe environments, and Boys and Girls Clubs are definitely that foundation that we need to help grow. And they should be in beautiful facilities that are safe. And I think it's a good goal for myself going into the new year.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
We can talk all day, man. Look at us, man.
Yeah, I would love to talk to you
You're sharp
more.
too now. Come on now, don't.
Well, thank you very much.
You're very sharp, bro. That tie is nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
JB Smoove, Revolution Hall tonight, 8 o'clock. Tickets are still available. My pleasure talking to you. Thanks
man, it's always great talking, man. You know how we do.
It's great.
Hey,
great.
You guys out there, come on out. I brought the sunshine for you, so it's a good night to come out and see some great comedy, man. And I love y'all, Portland. It's always great coming back.
JB Smoove.